And we are live. So, a warm welcome to each and everyone. My name is Phil from Cogent Integrated Business Solutions, and this is the Let Us Talk It weekly Zipiners. If you're wondering, we call it Zipiners as we try to zip in two topics in one session just to lessen the time consumed but maximize the information being shared. And take note, this is a free weekly Zipinar session. So everybody are welcome to join. You can interact with our speakers, ask questions. You can even connect with them just to add them to your network as we aim to share knowledge for free to each and everyone. So this is the best way to impact the world, to create a free knowledge sharing platform which each and everyone share their ideas, thoughts, and especially the rich experience of seasoned professionals that we invite into this platform. So, like the number of years they have built their career, their profession, and then they're willing to share a capsuled form of that information into this platform. So everybody's welcome. You can be a guest or you can be a speaker. Do let us know. Let us reach out on our social media platforms and let us talk it. We are on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. And you can watch our recorded sessions on YouTube for your benefit, of course. All right. And the first topic today is fascinating, as it is fascinating world of facilitation. So traditional teaching and training methods are becoming outdated. So it's time to embrace facilitation, and this approach actively involves each learner creating an inclusive and engaging learning experience. Discover how facilitation transform learning into a collaborative journey, empowering participants to think, reflect, and grow together. And this topic will be delivered by a seasoned expert with over 25 years of experience in the field of learning and development. So, master facilitative trainer and soft skills facilitator, and have empowered more than 40,000 mid and senior level professionals across diverse sectors. And with a strong belief in the power of facilitation over traditional teaching, he brings wealth of knowledge, experience, and passion for creating impactful and inclusive learning experiences. So let us all meet Sir Arun Chitlangya for the first topic for today. Hello, sir. How are you? Thank you for being here.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm nice.
That's perfect, sir. Thank you so much. And we cannot wait to hear about your topic, but you can share a little experience or like what you are doing recently as of the moment, and then you can go ahead with your topic.
Definitely. So, thank you very much for this invite, and I'm very happy to meet all of you. As the title suggests, fascinated with facilitation. So, that is what happened to me. I am in training field since around year 2000, 2002, and has conducted lot many trainings. Somewhere around 2009 or 10, I got in connect with the facilitation skills, and then I realized what is the difference between them. And I was really, really got fascinated. I started loving this method and started applying in my training session. And from there on, I'm increasing the share of. So it's today what I'm doing is not pure facilitation; it is facilitative training, but I am increasing the ratio of facilitation and decreasing the ratio of training. We'll talk about it little later, but this is the background I'm coming from.
All right, perfect. So we are happy that you're here and you have graced us with your presence. And yes, sir, we are excited to learn about the topic you have chosen to share today.
Sure.
All right, so go ahead.
Yeah. Yes. So we're going to have a look at this roadmap. What we are going to do today is briefly described over here. First of all, we'll make little effort to understand what is the difference between facilitation and other methods like training. Then what are the characteristics of facilitation? Facilitation is dependent on various tools and processes, which is a very important integral part of this learning. And then we also will talk about the kind of language a facilitation would speak. And of course, benefits more than me. I think all of you have to talk about the benefits once I have covered this much part. So that is where we are. Let's go to the next slide and explore what is there in store for us today. This is the formal definition of facilitation. If I want to simplify it, it is simply to make it easy. That means, as a teacher, trainer, coach, counselor, whatever, image consultants, whatever you're doing, there are various methods of teaching. And when you want to teach anything to anybody, if you can make it easy, very simple, then the recipient receives it better, they understand, they follow it, and then they get benefited. Otherwise, it just becomes a tick mark training that, okay, I have done it. Whether other people received, understood, or not, it's not really known sometimes. So that's the purpose and that's the power of facilitation, that it is very easy. The definition says facilitation means make it easy. My job or your job when you become a facilitator is to make that learning easy for the learner. So let's move ahead and let's understand various methods of teaching training. As you can look in this image, teaching training is from one to many. So there's one teacher or trainer, and the person is training a group of people or maybe one person. When it comes to coaching, counseling, mentoring, usually it is one to one. There could be group coaching also, but usually the popular method is one to one. But when it comes to facilitation, again, if you look at the picture, there are so many people. And if you look more closely, you will observe that everyone is involved. So unlike the first picture, they're not sitting idle. They're not just listening. They're doing something. They're speaking or they're doing something. And that's a big difference. Let's move ahead and let's see what is the main differentiating factors between facilitation and other methods. The first and very, very important method is factor is the direction. If we go to the previous slide, now, as we all of have seen that in training, teaching, the teacher or trainer is a knowledgeable person, and this person imparts knowledge, downloads the knowledge, downloads experience, anecdotes. They will show you video. So whatever they do, but essentially the direction is from the trainer teacher to the learner to the audience. All right. Here in facilitation, it's exactly the other way around. Here, the direction is from learners to facilitator. That means if I want to tell them that, hey, you need to get up early in the morning, hey, you have to have nutritious food, I, as a facilitator, am not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to ask them, hey, for a good health, what would you like to do? And they will say probably that, hey, I should get up early, I should have a good diet, etc., etc. And then, of course, I can endorse, I can steer, but I'm not supposed to directly give them that knowledge or information. I have to draw it from them. I have to create a situation so that the information, the knowledge comes from to me. We'll move ahead and see how it's going to happen, what are the hurdles we are going to face. But very important thing is, let's go to the previous one. Uh, Facilitation is content neutral. That means uh, I am not supposed to impose my views on the listener, my views on the learners. Whereas in teaching and training, it is believed that the teacher trainer is knowledgeable, knows, and what they say is the truth. What they say has to be followed by everyone else. In facilitation, we leave it to the learners, we leave it to the flow. Of course, I can design my process. Of course, I can steer it in a desired direction, but directly, I'm not supposed to force in the audience in any particular direction. I can steer them, I cannot force them. So, facilitator is in content neutral person. Whatever people say, whatever the group say, is to be accepted, accepted gracefully. And moving ahead, you will see that how this mechanism works. So if you look at this image, on the extreme left, you can see that this colored portion is very high, the white portion is very small. Actually, at the beginning, it is 100% colored. What is indicating? What is it representing? This colored portion represents the content the trainer or the facilitator brings in. White portion is the content that the learners bring in. So a pure teacher trainer will bring 100% content and they will deliver download to the learners. A trainer who is little interactive, who will talk to people, who will ask them question, who will ask your opinion, who will ask your agreement, is at the next level, which is interactive trainer. So here you can see the ratio of content brought by the teacher trainer has reduced and the content brought by the audience, the learners has increased. So in an interactive session, we ask questions, people answer, we make them sit into group discussions, they bring some information, trainer brings some information. Now let's move ahead. Third level. No, in the same slide, but the third level. Third level is a facilitative trainer. So this person is not a pure facilitator. There is a mixture of facilitation and trainer. So here you can see that further the content brought by trainer has reduced and content brought by the learner has increased. And if we look at the fourth box, then the facilitator content is reduced drastically and learner's content has increased drastically, and at extreme light it is 100%. That means the facilitator is not bringing any content at all. The entire content is coming from the learners. Does it sound interesting? Does it sound unbelievable? If yes, we are at the right place because we have to explore this. So let's go ahead. There are answers in our further talk. Now, because of the previous slide, what we saw in the previous slide, it is very much natural that if the facilitator is not bringing a lot of content, then the facilitator should speak less. They have to make the audience speak more. Right now, I'm not doing pure facilitation because I'm speaking. A pure facilitator is supposed to speak very little, 10 to 20%. And even within that, most of the time, the facilitator is giving instructions, not really speaking on the topic. On the topic and on the opinion, this person draws from the audience. That means the facilitator. So this is a benchmark that as a facilitator, you are supposed to speak 20% or less, not too much. That means you have to make them speak. I hope all of you are in agreement. And if there is any question, any doubt, please stop me, please ask me. I would like to answer and then move ahead. Because these are foundations. If you get it right, the rest of the talk will become easy to understand. Okay. Now, like facilitator is content neutral, on the same line, facilitator is non-judgmental. I'm not supposed to judge people when I'm a facilitator. A teacher can say, hey, wonderful answer. A teacher can say, hey, you are right. What you told is right. What I'm saying is right. But a facilitator is not supposed to do that. Facilitator is supposed to bring the topic, encourage discussion, steer the discussion to a desired outcome. But ultimately, whatever the learners bring up as a conclusion, that is what has to be agreed by everyone. And everyone means including the facilitator. So even facilitator has to agree that yes, whatever the group is saying is right? So you must have seen very typically in training session, when someone gives a good answer, we say, hey, wonderful answer. Here is a chocolate for you as a reward or something like that. In facilitation, you are not allowed to do that because it's not your opinion. It is not your judgment. It is the judgment of the audience. And by telling one person or a small group of person that you are right, indirectly, you are saying that others may not be right. So here you are not allowed to be judgmental. So you can just say, thank you very much for your views. Thank you very much for your inputs. But you're not saying whether they are right or they are not right. So that's the one very important difference in the traditional method of teaching and this modern method, which is facilitation. So next slide, we will see. So we talked about that you are not supposed to speak much. You are not supposed to bring content. Content will be brought by the audience. What if audience is not aware? What if they are just raw? They are very fresh. Well, there are methods by which you can bring some content, but that's not your content. That is a content brought from somewhere. For example, you can bring some notes, you can bring some book, you can give reference of a book, you can give a reference of a video or something, but that is not your own view. Then where the view will come from? The view will come from the audience. And when it comes from audience, you have to believe, first of all, you inside your heart, you have to believe that my audience is having a greater wisdom than me. Maybe individually you have more knowledge than one individual within that group, but all of them together is having greater wisdom, greater knowledge, greater information than you. In addition, you can allow them to use Google search, books, or any other method of information so that they can draw information and give to the group, bring it on the platform. That can be done. But essentially, for doing all these things, you have to feel secured. You have to feel sure that yes, they have information, they can bring information if they don't have information, if they don't have knowledge. So that faith in them is very crucial. It's not easy, but with practice, it will come. Initially, it is very, very difficult. I will admit that at initial stage of my facilitation practice, I used to feel that, hey, suppose they don't give me anything. If they don't give any input, they don't bring any content, what will happen? The session will freeze. So it may be a very scary situation, but it never happened like that. People love to talk. People love to bring their opinion. They love to bring their experiences on the floor. So generally it sails through. But initially you may have fear. No need to have that fear. Believe in the group wisdom. Let's go ahead. Yes. So now here we will look at the process. What exactly we do in facilitation. To some extent, maybe that we do in training also, but here we are more focused in this entire process. So first step in facilitation is knowing your objective. What is the desired outcome you have planned? So understand from your client, you may do your thinking, you may ask the participants, but ultimately 3 to 5 key desired outcome has to be defined, ideally in numerical, that what do I want? So if I'm teaching someone time management, I want them to be punctual, but you can't be 100% punctual. So in my desired outcome, I can say that I want my audience to be punctual 95% of the times, or maybe 99%, 100%, whatever is your target, right? So I have to define the outcome very clearly in a way that can be measured and not too many outcomes. If it is too many outcome, it's not going to happen. If they are not very focused, if they are not objective oriented, if they cannot be measured, then again it will not serve purpose. So 3 to 5 clear cut objective which can be measured, ideally in numbers. Now when you open the session, what is your first task as a facilitator? Your first task is to energize people, make them open up. So warming up session, which we call in training, you have to do here, and that goes with divergent process. How do we diverge? We ask open-ended question to them. How are you? What do you think about this particular thing? What is your experience? So questions which are very open-ended, where people are encouraged to talk, so they start talking. Whether in group, individual, depends on the process you have taken, but they start talking. Now, if they keep on talking, where is the end? Where is the solution? Where is the message? So, as a facilitator, you have to be very sensitive that what is the point of time? It cannot be defined in minutes. It has to be defined by your feelings, by your observation, by noting the pulse. You know that, okay, enough discussion has taken place. So, now it is time to start the convergent process. So you warmed them up by open-ended question. You made them talk. The talk may sometimes go here and there. It's okay. But now you have to bring them to one particular direction. So you will start the process of convergence, and that can be done by closed-ended questions, or that can be done by the process you choose. I'm going to talk about the processes. So it is going to be decided either by the process or by closed-ended question. That okay, how are you going to implement today's learning in your work environment? So give me 3 examples where you will be able to use it. Or that stop, start, and continue. What are the things you have learned which are you are going to start? What are the things you are going to stop? What are the things you are going to continue? So that way you start the convergence process and come to the specific solution. So in the beginning, we came with the objective. Towards the end, we are coming out with the solution. That these are the things, and this solution is not dictated by you. This solution is drawn by you from them. So you made them speak, they spoke, they brought the solution on the table. Okay. I hope it's clear so far. If there is any question, please do ask. Otherwise, I assume that uh, the entire process is clear to all of you. Let's go to the next slide. Now, process is very important. So, next, please. Questioning. So, in my previous slide, I talked about that we have to question open-ended question, closed-ended question. This is the way of making them part of the discussion. So we don't tell them. In training, teaching, we tell them. Here, we have to ask them so that they can speak. Participation here is very high because most of the time they are speaking. They are engaged because many times we are not going to tell them to speak directly, individually, but maybe that will make them sit in a group and they will first discuss in the group. Then maybe one of them, a leader or a scribe, they will speak on behalf of the group. So already they have spoken, everyone has been speaking, and that's why they were more engaged as compared to other methods. In other methods, they were listening passively. Here they are part of the group, they have to discuss at least internally. Learning level is high because they are coming out of experience. They're not just learning theoretical things, they're learning something which is practical. They have to think in the process, because when you do a group discussion, when you give your point, when someone opposes your point of view, then you have to think much more deeper. So argument, counter argument, everything may happen internally within them. They build a context building is important because, again, we don't want them to just go back with theoretical knowledge. We want them to go with the knowledge for them. And at times it becomes very entertaining because it is little competitive, little group energy, everything is there. So they enjoy the process. So this is about the benefits of the process. Let's go ahead. Yes, next one, please. Now, one thought which is very important. Those who are trainers, you might be thinking that if they are speaking, if they are bringing the content, if they are doing everything, what is my value? Who will bother about me? Right. So you don't have to feel insecure. You don't have to worry about it because your main task is to create the process. Your main task is to give them instructions in such a way that they easily understand it and then they follow those instructions. Then the discussion will happen and then the outcome will be there. So from outside, you have to give a lot of credit to them. Directly, you don't get credit. But keep patience. Ultimately, that credit will arrive to you because they could perform only because of your presence. Right? So finally, it will come. But till that time, please have patience.
Agree.
Next, please. Give them always some conversation time, because you give them a thought, you give them instructions, then they have to discuss, they have to think, then they come out, they share, and then you can come to the convergence. Yes. Next, please. So what do? We use a lot of methods like icebreakers, energizers. There's a process called textra. The beauty of textra is we give them some text either in advance or just at the beginning of the session. So they read it and then they are ready. So as we discussed earlier, if they are absolutely raw, if they don't have any information at all about the topic, then what do you do? So you give them textra, they read the text. Let me give you an example. Suppose you have got a HR manual or a safety manual, 100 pages. Now, who is going to read? It's so boring. There, it's a dry knowledge. So what you do is divide your learners in 10 groups. You tell group number one that they have to read page number 1 to 10. Group number 2 will read page number 11 to 20. Like this, you divide it into 10 groups. Thoroughly, they have to read 10 pages. So remember, they don't have to read 100 pages. Each group, each person has to read only 10 pages. But when they come back, they have to give presentation on them. So I learned 10 pages because I read and I gave presentation. I learned remaining 90 pages because one of my colleague or one of the other group, they learned and they shared it with me in simple language. So I learned that also. So I get 100% learned. So that's the power of Textra. World Cafe is where we divide the people into 4 teams and we create a group discussion and it rotates and we get every team's viewpoint on one single point. So let's say we are talking about whether training is good, facilitation is good, which method is good. So I'll divide you into 4 or 5 groups, create a discussion, and then training group will move to facilitation, facilitation will group go to counseling, counseling will go to mentoring, and look at the things from a different angle. So there will be a lot of discussion that is going to happen. Rating scale is a method where we put scales from, let's say, 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 and give them the topic. Let's say if I have to ask you whether money is more important or respect, I will tell you that those who believe that money is very important, please go and stand at 1. And those who believe that respect is very important, go and stand at 5 or 10, whatever scale I have given. And then create a discussion between the people on this side and that side. Something similar happens in flip flop also. Plus, you can use a lot of management games, storytelling, role plays, case studies, something humor, all these ingredients you can add. But the main methods, main processes you have is various varieties of group discussion. We have open space technology, we have reverse panel discussion, we have rule of 35. So many hundreds of processes are there. You can always Google them. And if any opportunity is available, I will demonstrate many of the processes one by one. Each one takes a lot of time. So if I have to explain World Cafe, I will take one session just to demonstrate World Cafe. So opportunity arrives, I'm going to do that also. But right now, I think this is the foundation of facilitation. I hope it is clear to everyone. And I want you to experiment. You will enjoy, you will have fun. Your audience will have fun. They will learn more. So with that, I will pause here and wait for questions, if any.
All right. Well, that's really a wonderful topic. Thank you so much, Sir Arun, for sharing that one. It was very clear and precise. Even though you have like lesser time, uh, but definitely, yeah, in the future, maybe we can have this like some of this uh pedagogies to be like I mean emphasized more, right? So, but yeah, we are welcoming any questions from the attendees. You can raise your hand or you can just put it in chat if you were onto something as of the moment, working or whatnot. But yeah, so far I've checked our stream. We don't have any questions just yet. As I've mentioned, it's very clear. Thank you, Sir Arun. Now, before we move to the next topic, anything that's upcoming, sir? Would you like to promote anything? Like, are you working on something right now? Do you have uh upcoming online sessions or products? Go ahead, sir.
So please add me on LinkedIn. I keep on posting my upcoming workshops there. So if you search Arun Chitlangia, you will get me very easily. Attend one of my workshops where I go deeper into it. Train the trainer is my focus area. So there I do a lot of workshops. Plus I do workshops on other topics as well. So LinkedIn would be the right platform where you will keep on getting information.
Alrighty. All right. So make sure to send a connection invite to Sir Arun, so you can learn further from his posts and his online platform as well. All right. So with that being said, thank you so much for the first part of the session, sir. Any questions arise in the middle? Sir Arun will still be with us, so we can still address that on chat. So just put it on chat if in case you have any that comes along. All right. So we'll be moving to the second topic that we have for today. All right. So I hope everyone's still there, and for those who are watching live, thank you so much for watching in today. And in case anyone who has missed this webinar session, this is a recorded session, and this will be uploaded on our social media platform, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So you can still check it out, definitely, as the goal is to share and impart knowledge. So, and the next topic that we have today is here, checking brand building. So this is about the inception, challenges, and content in digital space. So in today's competitive business world, building a strong personal brand is more important than ever. And in this session, our speaker or our guest speaker will help us explore the what, why, and importance of branding, especially personal branding, and how it helps individuals stand out, build trust, and create lasting impact. So discover why you need a brand and how it can elevate your professional presence and opportunities. And this topic will be shared and delivered to us by a young and dynamic talent from a small town near Mumbai, India, and a best-selling author, business owner, and undergraduate student currently pursuing cost and management accountancy alongside managing her business and has been passionate about writing since her school days. And without further ado, let me introduce to you uh, the author and founder at Content Bank, Miss Sonali Sharma, for the second topic that we have today. Hello, Sonali. Thank you for accepting the invite and hope you're doing great today.
Hello, yeah. Hi. First of all, thank you for introducing me, Phil. Yes, I'm doing good. Hope everyone is doing fantastic as well. And yeah, thanks for, introducing me and giving me this opportunity where I can share my learnings, my experiences with you all. I just have one question. Am I audible and am I visible? I'm not sure because camera isn't working fine, but I'm
Yes, you
just trying
are.
here.
You are audible, but I think the
Okay.
video settings, like you just have to
Yeah.
change the device, so it will choose your camera because I think it's using a different application. That's why your camera is not turning on.
Am
Yes,
I visible now? Okay.
there,
Okay.
lovely.
Hello. Yes. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so I also have a presentation that I've created for today's session. Just a minute. Let me try sharing my screen.
Yes, go ahead.
And okay, just let me know if my screen is visible.
It is. Yeah, just needed to be on presentation mode, but yeah, it is now. Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, so shall we start?
Yes,
Is
go ahead,
everyone
please.
ready to know about brand building? Okay. So, hi everyone. I don't know, like here it is evening. I'm speaking from India, so wishing you all good evening. I think there it is 12 p.m. So, good noon, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so let's get started. Talking about today's environment, today's surrounding, brand. Now, whenever we see something, maybe, something which we have in our hand, for example, say commodity, I have a phone, I'm using Apple, another one is Android. If I'm, say, having something, whatever we consume, we first look into it that what brand are we currently using. It means our emotions, everything is associated with what we are using and how good the brand is. So before we, put in our investment, we put in our money, we definitely do a brand analysis, or maybe, just compare, is this product better or is that product better. So why is it so important? We will be studying this in the further presentation. Let me just give a quick walkthrough of what we will be going through in this presentation. One, brand. Now, what is a brand and why is a brand important? Followed with inceptions of a brand. Now when we talk about brand, it is not just about the product or service that you use. It is more about the vision, the mission, and how the brand is built, and what are the elements that contribute to building of the brand. Mistakes. What are the common mistakes that we do while building the brand? Power of content, because gone are the days where there were the times of traditional marketing and advertisements. Today, the power of content, whatever you are consuming from social media, what you read, the podcast, the webinars, that you consume, everything, whatever you see around the content. So why is content so much relevant today? How is it created and why is it relevant? Yeah. Digital landscape, obviously we know how drastically there is the digital evolution happening. So in this digital evolution, why the why should you have the online brand presence? And here I don't just mean, big shot brands, big shot competitor companies, but as a person, as an individual, why should you have a personal brand? And why does it helps you get closer to building your own identity? Coming to the part user experience and loyalty, obviously when there is something which is existing in the market, if you are consuming it, you are the consumer. So why does consumer experience matters? A quick walkthrough of the table of contents. Brand, yeah, just what we discussed previously. So now, yeah, here's the interesting part. Just a minute, if I can shift it here. Yeah. Now, when there is this interesting story behind the word brand. How did the origin of this word happen? Originally, the word brand is referred to the piece of burning wood. Now, this wasn't used as a verb until late Middle English. But when when people started using brand as a verb, it concluded with the significance and the meaning permanently, marked permanently with hot iron. Now, here the metaphor is, when you mark something with the hot iron, that, the marks are instilled permanently. And hence, similarly with the brand, when you are on the journey of building the brand, in the minds of the consumer, in the minds of the audience, you are instilling your visual identity, your brand permanently. They will have the perception, oh yes, this is the person, this kind of content is created by so and so person. So you are instilling your identity. When we talk about, say, Apple, the very first thing that comes to our mind is the uh, premium feel, is the quality that Apple delivers. So, that's the power of branding. Talking about brand, what exactly brand is? Now, brand is a total sum of attributes which inherits the offerings, and it is used to develop your identity in the market. Let's talk about, say, FMCG brand, Lay's, Pepsi Cola, Coca Cola. So these are the brands, but why do people know it? It is because of their unique offerings, because of the attributes and the identities that they have created. Now, according to Kotler, Philip Kotler is a great personality when it comes to economics and commerce. He has quoted that brand is a combination of three things. One, definitely the name of the brand. Second, the term of the brand. And third, sign or symbol. For example, let's say, again, let me give an example of Apple. We know Apple, the symbol or sign, the fruit, the apple fruit with one symbol, the bited apple fruit. And term, basically the term of their deliverables, that is, enhancing the user experience and giving the feel of premiumness when any person is using their product. So basically, brand is more or less, proved to be an intangible asset for your business. We will, dive more into this. To just give a quick walkthrough, why is brand said to be intangible, but a product is said to be tangible? Now, when we talk about tangible and intangible assets in the branding industry or the commerce industry, tangible thing is something, see, this is the mouse that I'm using. The brand is Protonics. This commodity is tangible, but the feel, the experience that I get by using that product is intangible. So that's where, a company or a commodity or a product caters to building a brand. It is more of the user experience that product is able to generate to the customers when they are actually using it. Let's understand this in depth. Okay, once, yeah. So, brand, when we talk about brand, it is mostly assumed that it is a commodity or it is just a branding associated, some sort of marketing thing. All the marketeers assume that they are building a brand. But marketing, marketing is just a part of building a brand. Entire marketing is not branding. So now let's understand what exactly branding is. Brand is the personality of the company. As I said, the feel, the experience that the user gets. It is the first thing that, consumers think or feel whenever they see the logo of the company, when they hear the name of the product or the company. In fact, to, directly attribute, I can say, when you think about a brand, you can directly think about the personality of that particular commodity or the product that you are using. It is a direct substitute to clarify the meaning of the word brand. Again, to give a very common example, say, we meet our colleagues, we meet our friends daily. For us, they have names, but even before they have names, what do whenever, for example, if you are thinking about a friend, let's say the name of your friend is um Ravi. Now, when you are thinking about Ravi, what exactly comes to your mind after you think about that person? Is his personality, how he is? Is he kind? Is he helpful? Is he caring? So, similarly, when we talk about branding from the business point of view, what is that one or two things that comes to my mind when I think about a particular product or a brand? Let's say Coca-Cola. Now, either first thing that can come to my mind is the get together with friends, enjoying, spending quality time, having drinks, so the personality, the experience that as a consumer I get, as a consumer you get when you are using a particular commodity or a product of a particular company, that's where the connection builds between a consumer and a business. That's the brand. Talking about what do you really need to build a brand. Now, here I would like to add that these days, like the branding has transitioned to a next level. Branding isn't just limited to big companies, big fours, or MNCs. As an individual, as a content creator, even I can have my own personal brand. There are people out there who are uh, day and night, creating their content. They are sharing their knowledge that they have, the experience that they have with people connected online. LinkedIn again is a very good platform to, create content and build your own personal brand. Instagram, on the other hand, is a very good platform from the entertainment creators point of view. So similarly, why is it important, to have a brand? So let's understand. Number one, it helps you build your own identity. Having your own brand, it will help you, it acts as a driving force to help you distinguish your product and your services in the market. It creates the space in the mind of your consumer. Now, to give a practical example, let's say, for example, if I have to conduct a workshop, and just a day before conducting a workshop, I roll out a poster ki, hey there, I am conducting a workshop on so and so topic, please join. Do you think will anyone will join? No. But on the other hand, if I am taking at least 10 to 15 days time, I'm creating some buzz around it, I'm sharing with the people behind the scenes of, building the workshop, what kind of content will go out, what are the topics I'm going to say, I'm connecting with the people online, means somewhere or the other I'm rolling out what knowledge and information and experience I have, and telling people that what can they learn from me, that's where people will realize that okay, yes, if we connect with this person, I will be able to learn XYZ things. And that's where you are taking your first step to build your own identity, which will lead you to build your own brand. Similarly, the second point connects to the very first point that I explained, identity. Let's talk about connectivity. Now, when you are putting yourself out, when you are saying, this is the kind of content I create, this is the kind of knowledge and experience I have, people who really want to consume that content, who really want to consume that knowledge, will connect with you. It means you are bridging the customer gap. As said, connectivity helps in connecting the dots between the purpose of the brand existence and the consumer market. It helps you build connectivity, it also helps you create awareness. So, mm, before I give an example, now let's talk about the actual things. Okay. So for example, there are so many companies who have their mobile phones, who have their headphones. Like right now, I'm using OnePlus ka earphone. But now, if I hadn't seen their advertisements, I hadn't seen their walkthrough of the video that they have created, I hadn't seen any videos, before we buy anything, we go through the brand, we go through what other people are telling about the brand, what are the reviews, and when the brand shares those reviews, when the brand talks that what other people are talking about their product, that's where we understand as a customer, we are able to build trust. Okay, this particular product is good, I think I should try it. So building that connectivity is very important from the brand's point of view, so that your customer can trust you and take a step ahead to try your product. Third thing, again, it it correlates with the second point that I explained, which is trust. Because when we talk about brand is equals to the experience that you are getting from the product or service that you are using. But until and unless, as a customer, if I am not able to trust you, why on the very first place will I invest? So as a brand, as a service provider, it is my duty, my responsibility that I will build trust with my audience. And in the process of building the trust, which is preceded by building your identity and building connectivity, and these are the steps which will help you build a better brand. Brand building is a powerful tool to win the trust of your potential consumers. When you share with the consumers online what is happening behind, what kind of products are being built, what other people are telling about your products, and what are the current market scenarios, and how do you incorporate the customer feedback while manufacturing or while crafting your products or services. That's where you build the trust with your consumer. Now, talking about the most important part, importance of brand building. Why is actually building a brand very important? First one, standard rules. When you build a brand, you create a set of standards, and these standards later rule out to be the guiding principles that you follow. Now, as I said before, building a brand is somewhere associated with making sure that you are connected with the mission and vision that you have from the long term perspective. So when you have that mission and vision in the place, there are some goals and objectives, the list of goals and objectives that you will be creating, and you will stick by it, you will stick by those rules, and that's where you follow those principles. Second, ethics. Ethics is a set of moral behavior accepted by the society. Business operates in the society, for the people, and that's why the brand caters to the consumers in the society. Hence, it is the duty that one should abide by the ethical standards and avoid getting into wrongful deeds. As a service provider, if I am doing something wrong, something which is not good for my customers, or something which will harm my customers, it means I'm breaking the ethical moral of conduct, I'm breaking the ethical law of conduct, which is not acceptable in the society which we operate. Because obviously, every business runs on the core principle of generating profits. But before even we talk about generating profits, we should talk about what value are you delivering to your audience. Because anyways, once you deliver the value to your audience, definitely when your audience will make purchases, when your audience will buy the product from you, you will definitely make profits. So hence it is very important to stick by the ethical or the moral code of conduct, which again, stands by the moral principles that we follow. Recognition. Now, when we build a brand, when we are on the journey of building a brand, we need to be clear that, how do you want your audience and your customers to know you? For example, per se, see, as a content creator, if I am creating content around creators economy, around digital marketing, around branding, people will know me, or rather, I want people to know me that I am someone who can help you with the content management and content production for your brand building. Okay, so on the other hand, companies who are into FMCG sector, or let's take an example of Minimalist or Brillare. Now, these are the companies, these are the brands which are operating in the cosmetic industry. So, lifestyle and cosmetic, and they are catering to skincare. So, how do you want your customers to know you? In which category, in which particular sector that you are delivering your services? And what is the niche that you are choosing? Talking about Brillare, it is a brand which caters to skincare. Now, talking about niching down, there are so many different skin concerns. So, what are the skin concerns that Brillare is talking about? It talks about acne, it talks about dark circles, it talks about pigmentation. So, these are the core skin areas that that particular brand is catering to. So if you go look out the LinkedIn page or their website or their Instagram page, so basically their online brand presence relates to the kind of skincare issues that people have and how their products are helping people overcome those issues. Last but not the least, consistency. When you build a brand, having a core consistency is much important, because when you stay consistent, when you are consistent, people know you not just from your brand's name, but also from the kind of content you are creating, from the kind of experience that you are providing to them. They know you from your experience standpoint, which again is a major factor of brand building. Inceptions of a brand, another important aspect of building a brand. What are the things you can take into consideration? Starting point. Okay, what before you think that I want to do this business and I want my business to cater to XYZ field, and this is the experience that I want to give to my consumers, you need to figure out why, that starting point. Figure out your purpose. Why do you want to create that piece of content? Why do you want to create that particular product or a brand? What is the problem that you want to solve, and how do you want to help people? So the very first inception of building a brand is starting point. What do you want to do? How do you want to do? Whom do you want to cater your services to? And moreover, again, you're serving your purpose, that why are you taking that step ahead? Once you have the answers of these questions very clear, I think it becomes way better to take a decision that in which particular direction do you want to build a brand. Give an example, here I can add from the personal branding point of view. What do you want to do? Let's say my example, I want to create a content that can help people understand the connection point between the content creation and how content creation can be a driving force for your business. How do you want to do it? I will create content. I will create content from my experiences, from the businesses, clients, and corporate companies that I have served. Whom do you want to cater to? Again, to individual professionals, to startups, to MSMEs. How can building a good content and putting it across online help you drive better business force? And moreover, why do you want to do it? Because I want to help those people build a strong, powerful brand online and help them grow their businesses. Okay, so this is how you decide a starting point of building a brand, specifically a personal brand. Determining a target audience. Now, obviously, there is a saying in marketing, if you are catering to everyone, you are catering to no one. If you think that if I'm creating some product and I can sell my services to everyone in the market, you don't have a very strong product and you are marketing to literally no one. Because whenever you create a product, whenever you create a service, there should be a strong point of action. There should be a strong point or a set of customers whom you are actually catering to, and your services are helping them with the solution oriented approach. Talking about the next point, defining the MV, which is nothing but mission and vision. Defining your mission and defining your vision that aligns with what do you really want to do. It is important to align your mission and vision with the purpose, because if you have a goal of, let's say, I want to cater to 5,000 people, but without a clear approach, how do you want to cater to 5,000 people? Is it either by taking training sessions? Is it either by delivering the one-to-one consultation sessions? Or is it by helping people in different attributes? So you need to be clear that what exactly is your mission and vision. Why do you want to help people? Why do you want to train them? Do you want to train them so that they can be better at their skills? Do you want to give them a vocational training? Do you want to train young teenagers so that they can help, so that they can get a better approach, and they can understand the decision making power while choosing their career? A lot of young teenagers these days are very confused, and they are not able to decide with what career they should choose for themselves. So do you want to consult those young teenage students and help them take the right career decision? So you need to understand what your mission and vision is, and then cater to your services. Market research is again a very important uh, tool, I would say, and also the brand inception, because until and unless you research your market, that if I am creating XYZ services, what is the market? Is the existing market better for my service, or do I need to dive into a deeper research and decide if, should I penetrate into the existing market, or there is a new market segment for the kind of service that I want to provide? So research is again a core foundation. Now, not even from the branding point of view, but again, we all are working professionals here. If you come across any difficulty in handling a project, or in making some report, or if there is a project that you cater and need to deliver to the client, and if you are stuck somewhere, what do? We go and research. It can either be through, the Google research or any AI tools that you are using for a very niche specific research. So again, research adds to your core foundation. Value addition. As a brand, what kind of value am I adding to the people, to the consumers that I'm catering to? Systems, again, you know, I will give a very, very simple example over here. Create systems. Even the biggest project fails if you don't really have a very good system. But again, there is, a contradiction here. Many people will think that they need to have productivity tools, productivity apps, to, build a proper system. They need to have a fancy setup. But no, if you are punctual enough, if you are dedicated and disciplined enough, and even if you follow a simple, this I'm talking from the productivity point of standpoint, in day-to-day life, I would like to give an example of day-to-day life. For example, if you want to, mm, uh, mm, get into a day which turns out to be very productive for you, and you want to enhance your productivity skills, there are a lot of courses available online. People will teach you how to be productive, what are the tools, etc., that you can use. But until and unless you take that step, that's not going to happen. So instead of directly jumping to, taking into any signing up any apps, or signing up for any productivity tools, or taking any subscriptions, just try a simple thing. When you get up in the morning, first thing, take a piece of paper or a sheet of paper, write down your entire task list, and then identify what are the major tasks that you want to complete in the day, break it down on the sense of urgency and priority, and then start with your workflow. What was something that you really needed to do it? It was only a piece of paper and pen, and that's how you set your product. This is the first step to building a good productivity, and slowly and gradually you can dive into following a proper schedule, following a proper, there are, when you sign up on a productivity app, the kind of experience that you get, they have goals, they have this 25 minutes technique where, you work for 25 minutes, you take a break. So when you take a break, obviously your productivity enhances more, your mind shifts, and when you get back to working again, you come back with a energetic approach. So talking here as a productivity app, what do they cater? They cater to the experience of building an emotion and helping you boost your productivity skills. So building your system is very important, but it's not really uh, uh, very, like, a necessary standpoint that you need to dive into fancy systems. You can have the simple systems, as in when you progress, as in when you grow, you can have strong foundations and system, but you need to start somewhere. Four stages of building a brand. Again, this is important from a business point of view, from the creators economy point of view, and even from a personal standpoint, because building a brand is equals to building your identity. Number one, brand awareness, making sure that your potential customers know about your company. Number two, helping the potential customers. You are creating a value for your people even before they become your clients. Delivering, promise and deliver. Whatever you promise to your customer, say for example, if you are promising a premium experience, if you are promising an after sales service, if you are promising some discounts just because they are your regular and loyal customers, stand by your promise and execute whatever you are delivering. Last but not the least, making it easy to give feedback. Social proofing is the biggest tool and a very best tool in building your brand. If a person is buying a particular commodity or a product from you, you can directly tell them that, it will be good if, you can drop us a feedback. But when a customer is giving you a feedback, make sure that you are incorporating their feedback as well, and not just taking the feedback from, for the sake of taking feedback, that many brands do, so we will also do. But, you know, incorporate the feedbacks that customers share, because they are your core audience. And as we say, customer is the king of the market, and he is the one to decide whether, this product is to be used or not from his or her experience point of view. Talking about mission and vision. Can a brand survive without a mission or vision? I mean, as individuals, we cannot survive without having our own purpose and goal. So, how can a brand survive without having a mission and vision, right? So, basically, what exactly a vision is? Vision is a vision statement. It is a purpose where a brand defines its why. Why do I want to do this? Now, basically, why is equals to finding out your own purpose. Simon Sinek in his TED talk, he told that once a person is clear with why does he wants to do something, a person will be clear with what, where, how, anything, all the WH questions. But finding your purpose is very important, which also helps to build your vision statement. Now, talking about mission, sorry, yeah, I think it's mission and not vision over here. Mission statement gives a more clear vision to operate. Mission statement determines the corporate culture. It empowers you to take informed decisions. It helps you in making the goals, in breaking down your broader vision. For example, let's say in 5 years, if I want to achieve XYZ goal, but I cannot directly jump onto a 5 year plan without having what is the first step that I will be taking in my first year. Okay, so when we talk about mission, it helps you to divide your long term vision into smaller statements. It assists you in priority selection. Okay, for example, let's say I want to be a leading content creator in branding and marketing industry. Okay, this is my vision, this is my longer term vision. And how will a mission help me to break down into smaller goals and objectives? It will help me to understand what do my customers or what do my audience wants from me. what kind of value can I add to my customer so that they think that yes, they are learning something new, they are investing their time at the right place. What kind of market research can I do? How can I understand my consumers better and their problems better, so I can come up with a solution centric approach? And through my content, through my content, I want people to gain informal way of education, some things which are not taught in schools. So how can I do that? It is by breaking my broader term vision into smaller objectives and goals, which is possible by having a proper mission statement. Now, breaking down the mission statement and a vision statement. Okay. First, let's understand the vision statement. Now, talking about Apple. The vision statement of Apple is to make the best products on the earth and to leave the world better than we found it. And how different is their mission statement and how does it cater to their vision statement? To bring the best user experience to the customers, this is their solution. What is the solution? They are giving a best user customer. They are bringing out the best experience to the customers. How are they bringing out? Through their innovative hardware and software services, through their innovative technologies. Talking about ITM, basically ITM is the skills university, a leading skills university in India. Now, what does ITM claims? What is their vision statement? That they want to become a global, they want to become a global leader in the professional education era. But how will they become a global leader? By having a clear mission that they want to impart futuristic and comprehensive education of global standards with a high sense of discipline and social relevance by bringing out an inspiring environment. So, all the students that are studying in that university, they want to impart a futuristic and comprehensive education approach, an education approach which is available, around the global standards, a high level of education approach which inculcates discipline and social relevance in their further career. So that's how the longer term visions are broken down into small missions and actually achievable objectives. These are the, very common mistakes or very small or minute mistakes that we make while building a brand as a company, as an individual, as a content creator, or as a professional. These are the things that we can avoid. Lacking of a target audience or a group of customers, as we discussed previously, if you lack your if you lack the understanding of your target audience, if you don't know that who my target audience is, to whom am I going to deliver my services, why on the first place are you building the product? You should question yourself. Second, neglecting the digital space or social media platforms in today's digital space. If you don't have a strong social media presence, you are really missing out a lot. Jumping on trends too much and quite frequently. There are a lot of social media trends that keep happening. But before even analyzing that, is jumping on this trend good for my brand or good for my personal brand that I'm building? You should analyze before you directly jump into that trends. Inconsistency in the working culture. If you don't have discipline, if you are inconsistent, definitely there will be lack of meaningful approach when you build a brand. Not considering the customer feedback and suggestions. As discussed earlier, if you are not serious about taking in the customer feedback and the experiences that you are sharing, you won't be able to build a successful brand. Complicating your design. There are so many products and so many things that we see on daily basis, and like in the very first glance, in the very first instance, if we see something, if we like it, what is the first thing that we like? Is the designing, is the packaging, or how that particular thing is presented to you. If it is very complicated or very difficult to understand, will you even like it? No, right? So having that simplified approach but with the feel of premiumness and something that makes your brand stand out is important, rather than complicating your designing too much. Usage of too many jargons and technicalities, when we have conversation with our clients, with our potential customers, not every customer or not every set of consumer belongs to a high level of not every customer has that high level of education. There are many people who are maybe like less educated, or who don't know much about technicalities of a particular product. So rather than making them feel low and talking in only technical terms, you can talk to them in a very common or simplified language that they can understand better, which will also help you build the gap and figure out the problem that your consumers are facing. Casting too much wide or a broader approach, as I said, if you are marketing to everyone, you are marketing to no one. You should have a very very strategic and niche centric focus once you decide that these are the set of services that I want to offer, and not focusing on consumer satisfaction. Again, it relates to the part where we talked about taking customer feedback and suggestions. Digital evolution and brand building. Now, why is digital evolution feasible? Why it is easy, it gives you a easy flow. You have variety of options to connect with the consumer. Talking about the traditional approach, you either have to go with the print media and get your services or advertisements printed, but gone are those days. There are so many things that you can do online and like literally connect with people across any corner of the globe. You have variety of options to do that. You can create bite-sized content, you can create a podcast, you can create a webinar, you can create your content online, you can deliver one-to-one training sessions or consultation sessions, you can create an ebook if you want to deliver something and make your audience understand better. Talking from the product centric point of view, you have after sales services. You have some loyalty programs that you can offer to the customers who have been very loyal to you. So there are so many approaches in the digital evolution that you can consider. You can go with what you think your customer will like. Fail early, fail fast. In this digital market era, you have hands-on experience to connect directly with your customer. For example, let's say if I'm launching a book, and before I launch a book into the major market, I want a first-hand feedback from the people, so that I can work on my product, I can work on my book better before launching. I can reach out to 10 to 15 beta readers. I can share my manuscript with them. They will give me the feedback. I'll work on it. And if I think that this thing is not working, it won't be a like bigger failure of mine. It will be a small failure. I can learn fast, I can learn quick, I can incorporate the feedback and then launch big. So hence it is also time saving, it is also cost effective. You can decide your own budget and allocate your budget and finances accordingly, and you have a very very huge potential to explore new markets by collaboration. You can collaborate with the creators, you can collaborate with the influencers, you can collaborate with people who are creating content online, you can collaborate with startups, um, you can collaborate with agencies who deliver the marketing services, performance services, etc. So you have whole sort of new market potential to explore. Now, talking a major aspect, power of content, and how does content, social media platforms, and branding help you in the digital space? Before we dive into that, let's understand a clear difference between branding and a company. A brand is a word, is a logo or a mark or a symbol that is used, which helps in the clear uh, definition, or it helps you distinguish your product from another product. Whereas a company is a legal entity in its own, the operations and the ability to handle too many brands. Okay. For example, talking about Tata. Now Tata has Starbucks. Starbucks is a brand. Titan, again, it is a brand. So the company, the parent company is Tata, but Titan, Tanishq, Starbucks, these are the brands owned by that particular company or the entity. So yeah, talking about the content aspect, the content approach. What is the major and the most important approach when it comes to building a brand? It is storytelling. You know, as we say that salt is to taste, so is a good content to your brand. If the food doesn't taste good because there is a lack of presence of salt in it, similarly your brand will not taste good without having a strong content in focus. Your brand will strive without having, your brand will not strive, or rather, to put it in a very simple way, it will be very difficult for you to build a brand in today's digital aspect without having a clear storyline, without having a very strong content led foundational approach. And storytelling is the very baseline of every content piece that you roll out. You can pick up your style in your own way. You can literally have your own way of speaking. You can have your own way of creating the animations, creating the illustrations with whatever thing you want to go, and connect with your audience. You can have a meaningful characters, example paperboat. I don't know if you all know about paperboat, but paperboat is a FMCG brand, and the kind of storytelling approach that they have is really good. They have their own set of characters, they have their own set of storyline, and the storyline that they're using is emotional connect. As adults, we often get lost in our memories and we think about our good old days. So that is what Paperboat does through their branding, through their packaging. It revives that feel of nostalgia and how good were those days of your early childhood. So that's how you build a strong connect with your audience from the storytelling point of view, because directly catering your service or directly catering your product won't help you grow your business as much as through storytelling and building that connect with your customers. Now, what are the types of content that you can create? These are the scope of contents that you can create. It can be a blog form of content, which is again a text based. It can be content writing. It can be through copywriting. You can have micro pieces of content. Micro pieces of content are nothing but the threads that you write on Twitter or threads, or maybe a very very short clip of your blog post. You can have stories, you can have ad and feature films, you can have social media content in place, you can have the video content, you can have the audio content. There are so many options, so many ways through which you can create content. Talking about obviously from the brand standpoint, brand loyalty is something that as a brand, definitely we all love it. Loyalty is the biggest virtue, but loyalty is something that you really earn. It needs to be earned when you mean something, when you deliver something which you are sticking by. You are sticking by your promise, you are sticking by with whatever you are providing to the customer. It is authentic, it is genuine, it is going to help your customer out. Only that is when your customer will stick by you and your customer will be loyal to you. Customers won't just stay loyal to the brands because they are, but you have to earn the part of loyalty to the people who you sell. You need to consistently add value in the lives of the people through your product or through your service, and gain their trust. When you gain their trust, you definitely gain loyal set of customers. Now, this is a bit interesting one. Types of people who are actually loyal to your brand. Again, when we talk about brand loyalty, it doesn't just mean that, I will be using only one particular product, or that particular company will have like 100% set of loyal customers. No, there are types of people who are loyal to different brands. The very first one, committed buyers. These set of people, the committed buyer ones, they won't go with any other brand. They will only stick by your brand with only your product. And like once they start using your product and they have good experience, they will only stick by your product and won't go to any other company who is offering that particular product. Secondly, brand likers. Now, as a customer, if I'm liking your brand, like maybe, say if your company is having, say, 14 to 20 products, but I'm not using all of the products, I'm using 5 to 6 products, but I'm liking those products. So for those particular set of products, I will be someone who will be in a very, very high favor of using that brand or your company's product. But if I want to use something else, which doesn't relate to the set of products which um, I'm currently using, I can go with another brand. But for those particular 4 or 5 products, I can definitely be a brand liker. I will definitely go with the brand which I'm currently using. Third one, satisfied buyer, but with switching cost. So over here, uh, as a customer, I'm satisfied. I am using your product on day-to-day basis, but sometimes when the prices of the product go up, I will wait for the part where I can get some discount, or the price of the product can come down so that I can again buy that particular product. So my preference will switch on the basis of switching of the costs and pricing of that particular product. Satisfied or habitual buyers. Now, when we talk about satisfied or habitual buyers, they have 2 to 3 brand preferences that, my first priority will be, say, let's talk about the example of, say, toothpaste. Okay. My first priority is Colgate. If Colgate is not available, my second priority will be Pepsodent. If Pepsodent is not available, my third priority will be Meswak. So there are 2 to 3 brands which I can use, which I can, whose toothpastes I can use, but I definitely have the choices. If not this, I can go with that. If this is not available, I can go with that. So I'll keep switching. But I'm satisfied with all kind of, with using all three because I'm habituated by using those particular products. And lastly, we come to switchers who are loyal to, like, they will be 50-50. 50% they will be loyal to your product, but rest 50% they might either try some other brand ones, or 30% they might try some other brand ones, but they won't completely stick to your brand. They have other choices and options and they keep switching. Yeah. So, since we had so much of discussion about branding from the company standpoint, from the creators economy standpoint, that as personal, as individuals, as professionals, branding helps us, building our own identity. So it is, it is important, it is relevant. Why do we need to build it? Because the right time is now. If you don't take a step further, it will be too late, because creators economy is growing rapidly. You have tons of, you have a huge potential in the market out there to connect with people to grow your business. And first step that you can take is, putting out yourself by creating the content you want, connecting with the people, and build a strong personal brand. So, like, yeah, when are you planning to build it? And with this, yeah, uh we come to an end of the topic, uh, building brand from the personal standpoint and the company standpoint. So, any questions, please feel free to ask. You can, like, put it in the chat box if you want to connect later. You can definitely reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to know some deep answers of particular questions. They are, like, most welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Anali. As you have seen, we have extended the time for
Yeah,
the actual talk. It's because like this kind of topic is something that you like you pay online on on courses, right? And then
right.
with this way of free webinar, you can get access to such information. So thank you so much for that one, Sonali. So for those, right, just currently building or like about to build a brand, make sure to check this session out. Definitely, this will be a big help uh, to for those who are on the startup journey in terms of branding. Definitely. All right.
Yeah,
And I'd like to acknowledge here, Laurit. I really appreciate how he said, I really appreciate how you included ethical considerations, such an important and often overlooked aspect. great insights shared today. Wishing you all the best. Thank you, Lorraine. All right. Any
Thank you
questions
so much.
before we move to close today's webinar? And Sir Arun is asking for your LinkedIn link. So Nali, if
Sure, I will share it. How
yes.
do I come back to the screen? Okay, I will stop sharing the screen. Um, okay, yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. So any other questions? No questions. All good. I agree. Really great topics. And for those who have missed this wonderful session, we have extended for you. So make sure to check the recorded one on our YouTube channel. You can make use of the video as an educational purpose. So yeah,
Thank you so much, Phil, for the wonderful opportunity. It was great connecting with you all.
thank you. And it was a pleasure having Sir Arun and you, Sonali, as our guest speakers today. Thank you so much, everyone, to those who joined. And for those who watched online, we invite you again next Wednesday, the same time, 12 noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, I'm afraid to say we are ending today's webinar, but definitely we will do another next Wednesday with two new topics and two new guest speakers. Thank you so much again. Take care, everyone, and keep safe as always. Goodbye for now. Thank you so much, Nali. For Arun, thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.